and slipped away. One street over where my memories exist. I wondered what would change. I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Everywhere I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve.
Well, if you're listening to us on social media, we're already on. What is going on? This is 1100 WSGI. Let me turn the sound off here. Hi, I'm U-Turn LaVern, and this is One Street Over. Welcome to it. And if you want to hear through the lines, I will share the field trips and many other school and extracurricular radio station, because that one appears to be working like it was yesterday. So here we go. Barry Richards is in the house. What now?
Good morning.
Good morning. Rebecca Richards is in the house.
Hello, hello.
This is why I shouldn't come in here at the last minute.
The schedule is flexible.
You could come in 15 minutes early. You might still have the same problem.
Well, that's the thing. Because until you sign on, you don't know if it's going to work or not. And, I don't know what happened. Well, because, I was off.
It's a perfect
Thursday
fit.
and Friday last
Retirees
week.
are earning extra income and fulfilling
so when I
desire
came
to
in
help
and tried to plug
mentor
everything
our next
in,
generation.
yeah.
I'm
so glad you're here, though, so we can troubleshoot that after we're done today. Because I'm like, I was going to say, Barry, get on up here, but it doesn't. I mean, we've got the regular show. We're going to share that right now that we can share on my Facebook page from WSGI, so you can hear the actual what's going on over the terrestrial airways. But you can hear us just here in the room as we're talking on the normal social media stuff. But hi, how are y'all doing?
We're doing very well. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. It's crazy. It has been busy, man. I'm telling you. I just,
this has been a public service announcement from Robertson County Schools.
Yeah. Come by and check it out.
I want to, and I'm so sorry I haven't gotten down there. Are you guys going to be open for the parade Saturday night?
I will not be there because I've got another engagement, but our Mike Ernst in our office, I talked to him last night, and he said, yeah, I'll plan on it, and he's going to have the smart car for the parade. Of course, it's a nighttime parade, so I feel like I need to go out and get some, at least some battery power lights to put on the aerial at the very minimum, maybe put some other lights on the car, but it'll get attention regardless.
For sure. And have you ever been to the light up to the parade at night?
I've been to years ago we had a light up parade in Cross Plains.
Okay.
But it's been a long time. Of course, Portland does it regularly. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. In fact, this year Springfield is at the same time as Portland.
Oh, I did not know that.
White House will be in the afternoon. Cross Plains, I'll go ahead and mention that. Cross Plains was going to be on Saturday morning, but because of East Robertson going to state championship,
We're excited for this.
they've rescheduled the parade for Sunday afternoon at 2:00.
Okay.
So come on out. Regardless of the outcome on Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, we're going to have a title playing team as a part of our parade, and we're optimistic it might be the state champions.
I'm excited for them. I really am. That's one thing I did mention it yesterday, and I told the kiddos, because we're doing little news drops now from our little studio.
Yeah,
and we're getting there. We're just jumping in with both feet. I love what Mr. Gregory says. We're just Miss Vivio. We're just flying the plane while we're building it.
There you go.
And we are. So we just jumped in and started flying. And so we are going to do a little sports drop,
Excellent.
Good luck, East Robertson. And I asked him, I'm in charge of the digital sign there.
Oh, that sounds dangerous.
I inherited that from Miss Perko. And so I asked one of the coaches for football yesterday, Coach White. I said, okay, is anybody going to get mad at me if I put on the sign, congratulations, Indians? Because he goes, well, we don't really play them. So he goes, I don't think so.
Yeah.
He says, why don't you just say good luck? I said, okay.
There you go. No, don't say congratulations yet. Don't jinx it.
Just good luck. Good luck, Indians. Maybe we're proud of you.
There you go.
That's Robertson County.
Absolutely.
That's cool to do.
Believe it. Yes. I'm so proud of them. I'm so excited for them. That's exciting stuff.
That really is.
Or if you're from outside the area, I know we've got some folks from outside the county. Our East Robertson Indians are in the state finals on Friday. Yay, that is so exciting. We said something, we were talking sports with somebody, and somebody said something about, well, football's over. I'm like, no, it ain't.
It is not over. Yeah, that's right. You feel like it's over, but if
it is not. So, well, Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team are in the house. Thank you guys for being such
we're tickled to be here.
Yes, y'all are just such a blessing to me. I love y'all so much. And I tell everybody about you guys because y'all know real estate up one side and down the other. You bring such unique qualities to it. I mean, you really do. Because I think because you came out of other careers, I didn't know you were in radiology years ago. That is so wild.
Yeah.
And then you're marketing and all this, and you just, I talk about that because you're just always studying because you've got that mindset. I mean, anybody that does radiology, come on, you got to stay up on that stuff. And we talk about you're one of the first in the area to be a senior's career specialist or a senior. I can spit it out when I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, it's part of being in the healthcare business. You're just nurturing by nature kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I like to think I take care of my clients like I used to take care of my patients.
There you go.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's a good point. And then you got a marketer.
Yeah. That's a blessing right there. So that's huge.
And so it's, and I don't know. It's like when I'm always trying to tell people to find you, I'll give your number and I'll do the sell with Becky by BBYRobertsonCounty.com. Then I said, just Google them because you guys both have your unique web pages that pop up. And I love how when yours kind of goes to a Facebook page first and then to your web page. And then yours is completely different and it talks about marketing and all of that. And it just kind of reinforces that. I always talk about y'all great partners, but they're separate brokers. They're in competition.
Yeah, we actually work for different brokerages now.
It's like, no. So y'all compete with each other in some way.
In some way, but absolutely. But that's absolutely right because we bring different things to the table. Yeah. And we really appreciate each other's differences. And it is a different feel when you go to his page. When you go to mine, but that's really okay. That's okay. We like that. So
I think that just shows the different unique qualities that y'all bring. How long have you been doing this?
Oh gosh, 16 going on 17 years now.
Okay. And how long has it been for you?
I've been licensed since 2014.
2014. When did you go full time?
2017.
Okay. Because I try to remember because the years get away from me. And how long have y'all been in Cross Plains?
1995.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because at one time I was like, it's 27 years. I'm like, no, it's like more like 28 plus now. I think, because I was trying to do the math, but that's unique because that helps you specialize in this area. But, as we always say in the ad, they buy and sell in the surrounding areas and across the state line in Kentucky. So that's who these folks are. I talk about them all the time, and I just like to have you guys in, maybe
absolutely.
once a quarter just to say thank you, number one, and to just say what is going on with real estate right now. Because
this time of year when we are focused on the shopping season and encourage everybody to buy locally and remind people. Becky posted on social media the other day. Think about all the money that stays in the local economy when you go to a local store in Springfield or Cross Plains or Greenbrier, and that money is paying the salary of somebody that works locally. They're going to turn around and spend that money locally and keep it in our community. And same goes for real estate. When you're thinking about buying, if you don't want to hire Barry or Becky, there's plenty of really good local real estate agents who live here in Robertson County and are going to keep that money in the county when you use them for your buying and selling.
Yeah.
I can't say anything bad about big real estate companies out of Nashville, but that money may or may not stay here in Robertson County when you buy or sell. So we want to encourage that. Of course, we want to encourage you at least give us a shot to tell you what we do and what we can offer. But to your question about what's going on in real estate, we get that question every single day.
Really?
Yeah.
And the answer that I'm given, and Becky may have a different answer because she talks to different people.
I think it just depends what day it is.
Yeah, it depends on what day it is.
What's right today?
Somebody asked me that yesterday. My quick response was it's still a seller's market, but it's a lot easier for buyers than it was a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can agree with that. Yeah.
if you were one of those people that tried to buy a home a year or two ago and you got frustrated because you were making offers and there were 10 other offers and you were getting beat out, now is definitely the time to come back because houses are staying on the market longer. Mm-hmm. There's less competition from other buyers. Now, a lot of that is because of higher interest rates, so that may affect your ability to buy. You might not be able to buy as nice a house as you were pre-qualified for a year or two ago. Mm-hmm. But it's a great time to be a buyer without all the competition that we had a year or two ago. And it's a real distinction to be made when people ask me about real estate. I want to know, are you asking me about local real estate here in Robertson County? Or are you asking me about Nashville? Mm-hmm. And if you're asking me about Nashville, you're not asking me about, downtown, or you asking me about the whole market? Because there's a huge difference between downtown Nashville and as you come out from the center of town into those neighborhoods and you get out here and then over the line into Kentucky and on up toward Bowling Green. It's a continuously variable equation. And I want to know what what's your interest? Yeah. Why are you asking? Are you going to buy in Nashville? Then I'll tell you a different story than I'm going to tell you if you're going to buy in Springfield.
And I talk a lot about, I've got a lot of Egyptian friends. I've got one set of friends that they got a Habitat house in downtown Nashville. Wow. I'm telling you. And I told them, I said, don't you dare move. Because you have to be there for 20 years to keep your investment.
Oh, okay.
And
to get your sweat equity out of it.
And he is disabled to some degree, so I don't see them doing that.
Sure.
But I've encouraged him. I've said, because I had one set of friends, newcomers, that they were in a Habitat house, and then they felt like they needed to transition out, but they were out in Lebanon. So, but I told this other family, I said, oh, this property is going to be worth millions. I mean, it's downtown Nashville.
Yeah,
that's so wild.
It's amazing. And I told him, I said, don't even think about it. For what their initial, and they've been there about 5 years now.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, oh, extraordinary investment. And I think they get it.
Yeah.
I think they understand that. And I just keep banging that drum. Don't
keep reminding
move.
them. Yeah.
Don't move. I said, this is a good little house for you guys. It's, and kids are in a decent school, good school, so, but it's amazing. I look at my, I can't get any of my kids to move to Robertson County. So frustrating. And, one that just moved to Mount Juliet.
Yeah.
Wow. That was so expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Insane.
Absolutely.
I was like, okay, yeah, you buy that house.
Yeah.
Wow. I was like, you could build on our land and y'all give you acreage, but go build them out. No, that's where her home is. Of course she wants to be out there.
And
mom is.
And they're going to be there for a while. And that's the key is is if you're planning on being in a home,
Yes.
the rule of thumb that we've said for decades is 5 years.
Yep.
If you plan on being in a home 5 years, on average, you're going to make money.
And I feel like they will raise their kids there. I don't think they will move because they're in a neighborhood where there's cousins and it's that little neighborhood kind of, and they can play out, play outside kind of thing. And it's just a really sweet little neighborhood. So their plan is to stay there until the kids are through school.
There you go.
And so if they're doing that,
absolutely,
and that's a good investment. And they're smart. They're so smart financially. But I got 4 boys. Can't get any of them in Robertson County. And but I mean, it has a lot to do with probably one of the biggest issues whenever that particular part of the family was looking is we didn't yet have the internet connection.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, absolutely.
And he is, he works in a very good company and is very, he has to have technology.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's times he's on call and he has to be able to sign in and take care of things and do and stuff. And so he has to have.
That's become a standard question.
You better believe
it
it.
Used to be, it was like, do you have city water?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you on septic or city sewer? But, one of the questions is, do you need internet? Okay.
Yep.
What type do you need?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I lean on tech guy here, is this enough for what they want to do? Because that's important too.
And we're so thankful for Cumberland Connect. But anyway,
yeah, really.
I mean, that's made such a difference.
Well, I get those.
Electric company.
I get those emails from Cumberland Connect. Here's our new service area. Here's the new expansion.
Yeah.
Same thing goes over in Sumner County with North Central Telephone. They're doing the same type of expansion, and a lot of people forget to ask that question, so we have to remind them. I asked the buyer that the other day. How important is internet? But a lot of people are surprised when you get out in the country, thanks to these rural co-ops. Mm-hmm. They've got pretty impressive internet service no matter where you are, but you've got to know because there's still areas of Robertson County.
We hear horror stories. There was one of them where they bought and they realized after they moved in, this internet service we have here does not support our business we're doing. And they put their house back on the market within
like
months.
A few months, yeah.
Are you kidding?
Luckily, it wasn't our client.
It wasn't our client.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's a nightmare situation at that point.
But that's and I think people obviously think about that more now.
They do.
Back then,
when it first started, yeah.
And if you're moving from a big city where you've got a lot of internet, you wouldn't think, the internet's everywhere, right?
Yeah. Some of them Cali folks that are coming in here going,
and
it's country.
We don't have garbage pickup.
Yeah, really.
Take
Yeah.
it yourself.
Dr. Causey, God bless him. I miss Dr. Chris Causey. And we got a new director of school starting Friday, y'all. But Dr. Causey, good friend, and he was talking about when he bought his place in the country. He said sometimes, what about the garbage pickup? And they put it up in your truck, take it to the dump. And he was like, I guess I need to get a truck. I was like, okay. But it was so funny. He was like, they don't pick it up out here.
Yeah.
It was great.
Things to get used to. Welcome to rural
There
Tennessee is what it is.
I love it, though. We are talking with Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team, one of our longtime sponsors, one of our original sponsors to the program. We're so thankful for y'all. And I guess I had Ryan Martin in last week.
Yeah.
And Mayor Vogel, that last week was there, they had the mayor and alderman and county commissioner meeting. And so always on the conversation is how many, proposals did they have where people are wanting to build and do these kinds of things. And they're talking about how it's kind of slowed down. And I think it was Ryan that mentioned something to the effect of, you could have maybe bought a $300,000 home 2 years ago. Now you can buy, $150,000 home because of the interest rate.
Because of the interest rates.
Is it really that big of a
That's probably a little bit of exaggeration, but I had a client right when the interest rate started to drop, and she was in a situation where she had to stay in Sumner County, and she was only approved for $250,000, and she actually her situation improved very slightly. She got a little bit of a raise. But when the interest rates made that dramatic change, her buying power dropped to $200,000. Okay. So, and that
makes a big difference.
That's a big difference.
I believe it.
When when you've got to stay in Sumner County. And in that situation, I was saying, hey, if you could jump right across the line to Adolphus, Kentucky, in the southern part of Allen County, I can help you with a $200,000 house all day long.
Yeah.
But Sumner County, and it qualify for the loan that you need to use. That's the biggest challenge. And that goes to something we want to try to educate buyers. The very first thing to do, we'd love to say the first thing you should do is call me, and that's fine. Call me. The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is talk to a lender and get a pre-approval. And I'm going back to that shop local adage. I don't encourage you to get on Google and find a lender that way.
Yeah.
That I've had fine experiences with lenders in some of these big companies that are nationwide, but I've also had really frustrating experiences. And I've talked to buyers who have had really frustrating experiences when they're talking to somebody in a call center that doesn't know anything about the community. It's a different person every time you call. We've got good local lenders right here in our community who can help you. And a really important thing for these first-time home buyers is they're plugged into the down payment assistance programs that might be a real benefit for some of these buyers that the lender on the other end of the country isn't certified to do, don't have any information on, are not even going to mention it to you, and you might miss out on a really good opportunity when you go to buy. So start by talking to a lender, getting a pre-approval, and understanding not only what you are approved to buy, but what's that going to look like in your real budget? How's that compare to the rent you're paying now? Because you can have a good income and have good credit and get approved for something that isn't really going to work with your budget once you move and you have to, pay for a garbage pickup or or pay for internet that you weren't paying for before. So
you mentioned Kentucky. So what happens with that? Because I'm a Kentucky. I mean, I lived there till I was 17. Hadn't been, but my family's all in Kentucky, and they have a state income tax.
Yes.
What does that do to you if you're living in Kentucky, but yet you work in Tennessee?
You are going to pay that state income tax.
Okay. So see, you got to think about that.
Yeah.
It's important to know though that, and a lot of people, you can ask a person on the street at our office in Franklin, Kentucky, and they won't know this. But the state income tax is going down. It dropped from 5% to 4.5% last January 1. This coming January 1, it will drop to 4%.
Okay.
So they're slowly phasing it out. They're being deliberate about the way they do it, which is good. So that will be helpful. But a lot of times you just weigh that difference, even with the income tax, what you're saving on your monthly mortgage. Is it a wash? We don't know until you run the numbers.
Lower sales tax.
Yeah.
No grocery tax.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's really huge. That's huge. I mean, you spend $100.
Now, how fancy is your car?
Yeah, the vehicle tax is what surprises people.
Really?
Yeah.
Property tax on your vehicle.
Really?
Yearly, correct, Barry?
Yeah. Just like your house.
Yeah.
Really?
So
I didn't know that.
don't buy a car more expensive than your house.
Yeah.
What?
And we grew up in Kentucky, so
But we never had nice cars. So.
yeah, that's right. We were young. Our parents paid it.
Our parents are paying it.
It's like what can we get on the farm? And well, that's interesting. See, there's all these nuances, and I mean, I was in Kentucky twice last week, 2 different days. So, but we don't talk about that stuff.
Sure, those are the details.
That's all my brothers.
But those are the things that your local lender is going to be plugged into. They're going to know about. Obviously, they're going to know about how the property tax on your house works. They're going to put that together for you.
Right.
And when you talk to agents like us, we're going to help fill you in. Here's what the things you need to know about.
Yeah, so you can
the
ask
other
the right
aspects
questions.
of that.
That's just it. So
Okay. Well, very good. All right.
And where you live is going to determine whether you're paying a city tax or city and a county tax or just a county tax. So.
Well, it's just like I have a Springfield address and I'm right on the edge, but I'm not in the city. So I'm not, I could make a request to be annexed, but then I'd be paying that city tax, and then I guess I'd have an alderman representing me or something. I don't know.
Then you could run for office.
I'm done with that.
Are you done with that?
Unless God makes me, I'm not doing that again. You just have to go where the good Lord calls you. But it's so funny because all these little paths I took that got me here and teaching, it's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And my goodness, it was a weird road, but it opened up the doors.
Yeah.
I would have never, I thank Dr. Chris Causey all the time for getting me into teaching. I wouldn't have known him, become friends with
If you
him,
weren't
even considered it. And here's the thing. I started out as a teaching major in high school. In college. That was my major.
That's wild.
Before I got bit by the radio bug. And so that's what I started out to do. And so it's just so full of it. And God's so good. He's just so good. And you guys are perfect examples how you don't have to do the same thing your whole life, y'all.
No, you definitely do not.
My husband and I were having that conversation this morning. We were talking about one of his previous jobs. And I said, well, so-and-so still there? Yeah, I saw him the other day. And I'm like, God bless him. But I'm so glad I don't do the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
I've had so much fun. And I don't know. I think I'll teach until I'm an old woman. You ain't gonna get rid of me because it's fun. Those kids keep you young. We're talking with Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. If you have any questions, you can reach out to them right now. Put it up in comments. What is your number, Rebecca? I don't have it in front of me.
It's 615-504-7425.
That's what I thought. Do it again.
615-504-7425.
And as I say, Google them. It's so easy. Just go Barry Richards, Exit Realty Garden Gate team, Rebecca Richards, Exit Realty Garden Gate team. You're going to get unique web pages. You're going to get a Facebook. Do you have a Facebook page? I've never seen your Facebook page pop up.
Well, I'll have to follow you.
Hers pops up for me, but yours.
Oh, that's a credit to her.
Yeah. But if I Google her, the first thing I get. And
her Facebook page comes up higher than her actual web page.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
interesting.
I can see that.
So those algorithms, you never know how they're going to work, but that's a thing. But you're easy to find these days. No Google machine can get you where you need to go. But so how long have you been in the new office, Dick?
We probably started paying rent back in the summer.
Okay.
We had a ribbon cutting at the end of summer. We're still getting some things updated online as far as making it easier for us to find that office online, but we're getting started. So Exit Realty Garden Gate team, the earliest exit office in this area was our office that Becky works out of in White House.
Yeah.
And then parallel to that, Garden Gate was a real estate company in Portland, has been there. The Kellys started it years ago. Mm-hmm. And Derek Miller, who's the broker there, bought the company from them, and then he turned it into an exit franchise, and eventually the two merged. Okay. He bought the White House office. So currently, Exit Realty Garden Gate team has offices in Portland, White House, Gallatin, Franklin, Kentucky, and then Springfield is the newest office that we've opened. We've got several agents, that have lived like myself, that live in Robertson County. Mike Ernst there in our office lives. He always explains it to me. He pays taxes in Coopertown, but has a Pleasant View address, I think is the way he explains it. Mm-hmm. So we cover the county very well, mm-hmm. and it's great to have a place to call home. And this is a great community of realtors. We've been members of the Robertson County Association of Realtors for years, mm-hmm. and it's nice to be here closer to the center of Robertson County and be able to better serve the folks. Not as much driving around. They don't see me at the library printing stuff out now that I have an office. So.
That's funny.
I know all the public libraries in the region.
Of course, that's handy. But now tell me, where on the square are you located?
We're in Woodard Hall, right there across from the extension office. Okay. We're in the back corner of it. Someone told me the barbecue sauce guy used to be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it's not a big office at this point, but we're planning on growing. So it's a foothold in Springfield, and we're excited about it. And it gives us the opportunity to do a better job of recruiting new agents. Yeah. And we've got a great opportunity for agents, whether you want to work in Springfield or in California. Exit's got a great program that incentivizes agents to help us grow the company, and in return gives them a revenue stream outside of just selling houses. Becky will make greater than 100% commission this year because she's done a good job of recruiting good agents over the years.
Oh, wow.
And just keeping them on board too. But when I joined Exit all those years ago, I was attracted to the company itself because of the broker that was there and also the agents. But I didn't realize what good benefits, that residual income that you can get. Of course, people always look at you sideways, but once you experience that, it allows you almost to have like a retirement plan.
It really is, yeah.
Wow. And
and
with
something
real estate,
you can pass on.
You're an independent contractor, so you have to save for yourself. But this is kind of built into the program, and it just encourages you to encourage your recruits, mm-hmm. and to help them along, and it's worked out really, really well. So.
That's awesome.
And like he said, he's hoping to recruit some more agents to the Springfield office. I won't be joining him.
She won't.
But really support him. I'm excited about this because,
yes,
Barry's got to stay busy. He never stops. So this is giving him another activity.
why we're friends. Everybody says to me, they're like, LaVern, what? Are you doing what? You're doing what? You don't have time to do that. It's like, sure I do.
Yeah, it's part of
Sure
your charm right there. Yeah.
There you go.
And one new thing about our company that kind of got touched on earlier when we were talking about comparing notes and having conversations about different experiences is that's something we do on a regular basis in our company because we have we have over 130 agents, and some of those folks have been in it for decades and are able to share notes on what's going on today that might be different than our experience is. Maybe they're experiencing something in Gallatin that's different than what we're seeing in Springfield, but it might be something we'll be experiencing soon. So it's great to have that just constant connection with all these other agents to give us feedback and to encourage us and to help us solve problems. That's the huge part of it.
I love it. So I'll tell you, I want y'all to explain to me what the difference between an agent and a broker is, because I hear you talk about you're a broker. And so what is the difference in that? Because I don't know. I hear that all the time. So that is my question for you now.
The way the law works in Tennessee and Kentucky is very similar.
Okay.
There is one broker who is responsible for each brokerage. So each physical office in Tennessee that calls itself a brokerage has to have a broker who is responsible for it and is in charge of it. And at the end of the day, it comes down on them if something goes wrong.
Okay.
Most real estate agents that you see in Tennessee are called affiliate brokers. So they are reporting to that one broker in that office.
Okay.
Now, they've changed the law in the last few years in Tennessee. They used to say, you have to be so many miles from your brokerage, but they've relaxed that. So we do have agents, in different areas of the state who might be one of 100 agents under one broker who is in the other end of the state.
Okay.
So that's an important thing, especially it's an important thing to know as a consumer, but it's a really important thing to know if you're a new agent getting into a company is who is responsible, and is that person going to be responsive to me? Are they going to be able to answer my questions to help me when I get in a bind or have a serious question that's affecting, a transaction? Is that somebody that's going to be able to answer my question, or do they have 150 other agents and you can send them an email and you might hear back in a week? That's a big variable.
That's the good thing about Exit. Like you said, our broker to agent ratio is good. It's manageable. We all see our broker. We can talk to them. But the other thing is the sponsorship program. So when I started as a new agent, there's a big learning curve. You go through the classes, they give you your license, go sell real estate, but you need to be able to ask somebody so you don't make a huge mistake with somebody's major investment. So my first go-to person was my sponsor, who was, a licensed agent, had experience. And then if she wasn't sure, then we would go to the broker. Or if she's not available, I could go to the broker. Just having those resources are important. And I think that's a good draw for people to come to Exit. It's what got me there. I felt like, I had the support there so I could make the good decisions for my clients.
So each of our offices has a different broker.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're the White House broker?
No.
I thought you were the White House
No,
broker.
I was approached to be take the broker classes, and I decided I don't want to be responsible for a bunch of agents.
Okay, well, I've been my understanding was you were the White House broker and you're the Springfield broker.
Our broker is Jennifer Moss.
In White House.
In White House.
I am the broker in Springfield.
You are the broker in Springfield. Okay.
Yeah.
I just misunderstood that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I guess you had told me that she was just in the White House office. I guess she's been at it long enough. I figured, well, if you're a broker, she is. I just assumed.
She had that opportunity and wisely turned it down.
I said, no, I don't need this. I don't need another thing to watch over. But it appealed to him, and he's going to do great at it.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It just so happened that my sponsor became my broker later. She went ahead, and I hit the jackpot when I got her as a sponsor because she's been excellent. And I hope I'm the same thing to my recruits too. But it's a good environment because, like Barry says, your broker's available, your sponsor's available, but just our fellow agents too.
Yeah.
I think Derek was deliberate about calling us Exit Realty Garden Gate Team, and we think, oh my God, what a
Ridiculously
mouthful.
long. I can't put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, but I mean, we really do support each other. We compete, but support, and it's a good thing. That's why I've been there almost 17 years.
Yeah.
I love it. It's good. And you are fun to talk to. And it's so interesting. When I had somebody call me about something yesterday, and it's like, do they own that piece of property there? I'm like, yeah, and it's worth a lot too. And it's just so funny because I understand it better because I know y'all.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm in,
You got the inside information.
Yeah. I feel like I've got the
I get calls from folks and they're like, who owns this? They'll give me an address. And I was like, oh, it's this. And they also own this and this and this. That's why they own that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little bit of a detective work. And then once once you've worked in Robertson County so long, you start to know, oh, that's the guy that owns this, this, and this.
Yeah.
That's how it came to be, because there's a lot of folks wisely over the years that have accumulated real estate when the prices were good and they could afford it and they were investing cash, because in general, real estate's a very good investment. And a lot of people see that.
And they're not making any more.
They're not making any more except in Hawaii.
And it don't
Well,
eat
there's
much.
that. Good point. That's really funny. And I'll tell you now, I need to do a break here for Mr. Perry. Mr. Perry's Music. They're one of our new sponsors, but I want to ask the question on the other side of it because I'm trying so hard to get one of my children here. And, I'm trying so hard. And I've got 40 acres, okay? They can build. I will give them the land to build. I mean, that's worth a lot. And so, but they want to build on top of the Dad Blame Hill, and I don't have access. I mean, I can cross the creek and get up there and see the hill.
You have the land on top of the hill, but it's not an easy thing to.
You can't. I have
can't
no
get there from
access
here.
on the top of the hill. We did some select cut like 10 years ago. We cut some timber just to cash some trees out, and we couldn't get anybody on the other side to let us have access. And honestly, can you blame them?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Would you really want timber trucks coming through your yard?
I understand.
I totally understand. Don't hold it against them at all. But I get it. So what do? You go and approach them about buying some road, like buying access or an easement?
Buying an easement.
Okay.
That would be the simplest, least expensive thing to do. It's still going. You're going to need to have it surveyed. You're going to need to have a deed created and recorded with the county, if they'll even go along with that.
Yeah.
But that's what a lot of people do, or some creative bulldozing to get you a road up that hill.
Oh, we'd have to go across the creek.
But it's not impossible. You can get there.
But that way it floods, it is impossible. It is impossible. There's
It
no
sounds like
way.
a big creek.
It is. Well, we've put 2 bridges on it, and they've gotten wiped out.
Wow.
We've lost 2 bridges. We've tried twice to put bridges, and we just finally okay.
Well, there's a bridge guy listening out there who
Yeah.
Well,
he's like, I can do that.
Yeah, you could, but I mean, you would have to assume it's going to go completely underwater several times a year.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the front of our yard turns into a lake.
Yeah.
And it just, I love it. We live in the prettiest little spot in Robertson County. I love it, but oh my goodness, the floodplain is massive right there. I can't do anything with that bottom land except just enjoy it, take pictures on it, and enjoy that kind of thing. But you couldn't build a structure in there and keep it. We tried to do a swinging bridge, and we thought that'd work. Nope. Nope. We lost it.
And down the road, here's the thing to realize, and this actually comes up a lot. People have land and they want to divide it for their kids, and they say, "Oh, we'll just put an easement across this part, and they can build back there." Whether that's on your property or your neighbor's property, an easement, a property with an easement like that is less desirable to buyers down the road. And you think, oh, well, they're going to live there forever. Well, are they? That's the reality. You owe it to yourself and to your family. I want you to live there forever if that's your goal. I hope that works for you, but think, in a clear way about what might have to happen if that has to be sold down the road.
Yeah, that's one thing I even thought about because I told the kids, I will give you the land, but if you build a house, you got to stay there until I die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee. They may say, oh, yeah, we will. And that's their intent.
Yeah.
But then
life happens. Things change.
Things could happen.
And the same thing goes for a house whose only access is across a field that floods.
Yeah.
That's not desirable either. So maybe that's not the best place to build.
Well, and we've got some wooded acreage where we've let, that's a great building spot. So there is a place just right beside us, but they want to be up on the hill, and I'm like, well, good luck, man. Go knock on some doors because I don't have access, and you might be super sweet and talk them into it. And I said, you just buy that house up there if it ever goes for sale. That's on the top of the
that
hill.
may be the best answer to that.
And I don't know that that's going to go for sale anytime soon, but if you do sell, call me. I might have a buyer.
But listen, neighbor, you've already got built-in competition. So if you let me list it,
yes, there you go.
Whether LaVern can afford it or not, she's going to put pressure on other buyers to give you top dollar.
That's right. Look at you. You are very, very. My goodness, was that helpful?
No,
I don't know.
But I don't work for you, man.
I love you. You're so funny. But he's right, He's absolutely right. Because, I live at the bottom of the hill. Of course I'm going to want it. I'm going to want it for my kids. That's always been kind of my hope is that one of my kids would just buy right up at the top of the hill. And there's a nice house up there.
They might get the opportunity someday. You never know.
You never know. But we need to keep our eye on it because you just never know.
And communicate with those people.
Yeah, for sure. They're super nice.
Make sure they know that. Super nice. Because you'd be amazed how many people don't know that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But let's talk for a minute. Let's pause for a second. This is a big, long commercial for Barry and Becca Richards with the Exit Really Garden Gate team because they are really our oldest sponsor right now. Corbin Creek, I'm not talking about them right now. They have taken a pause through the winter because she's like, I'm just not doing anything right now. So they're pausing until spring. But so you guys are the oldest one, uninterrupted. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you very much. But one of our new sponsors is Mr. Perry's Music and Katie Did It. Now we're going to talk about Katie more on Thursday, but I just love these folks so much. Katie and Perry Myers. I've known them for a while, mainly because I'm so interested in music, and I'm not good at it. I really have to be spoon-fed. And that's where I really love about Perry is he can sense that. And so he gets it as simple as he can for me, very basic, doesn't overwhelm me with music theory, and just gets me playing. He's taught me some guitar and some mandolin. I'm going to, go over there and see about some keyboards with him. Cause I work with a band. I work with the Celebrate Recovery band over at Epiphany. And I'd love to be able to contribute with keyboards or something like that. And he can get me acclimated to it. Cause that's his specialty is getting folks, where they can play in the band. He brings kiddos in and it works on a school semester. So when the school semester ends, then they're done with that semester, and then you sign up for a new semester, and it's a band program where they can come in and they can be rock stars and learn guitar, learn drums, find the instrument that they're most suited to. Maybe they're a vocalist. They don't know until they try. Well, they're enrolling right now for the spring semester that starts in January. So you need to get in touch with them at www.mrperryspringfield.com. www.mrperryspringfield.com. That's the best way to contact them. You'll see them there a lot of the times in the afternoon, but that's when he does lessons. You really kind of need to come by with an appointment. They also have guitar and gear that they've got on sale. They did a Black Friday special. Just go and talk to them about the holiday pricing that they'll have going on. But the big thing, of course, they've got the gear and all that, but the classes that they offer and just a unique unique way that he presents it to the kiddos and adults. There's adults like me that are taking, and you'll have a lot of fun. If you go to Mr. Perry's Music, right there on 41 to the right, you can't miss it. Get on mrperryspringfield.com and reach out to them today and ask your questions, find out what's going on, get your kids signed up for January, let them be in the band. They will have so much fun. And when you talk to them, let them know that U-Turn sent you. We are continuing on with our conversation with Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team. What else do we need to talk about, y'all?
We were talking about preparing. We talked a little bit about preparing to buy and getting with a lender. That's the most important thing. Yeah. Call me up and I'll connect you with some local lenders if you want to buy. But another thing to talk about is preparing to sell and thinking about selling. Becky had some good insight on the setting expectations.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, just because of the market shift over the past year or so, there when it was really a hot seller's market, all you had to do was stick a sign in the yard, and sellers were very happy about getting, full price, overpriced, no appraisals. Those days are gone, but it takes a while for everybody to reset, including realtors, but we're, working on that. but just being very deliberate about when you get ready to list your house. Take your time, sit down with a realtor, go over the market, and set expectations. What's important to you? Do you want to get the most money, or do you want to sell quickly? What about moving? Do you need time to move? So many times we'll get a seller that will be excited about putting their house on the market, and they want to do everything immediately and quickly, and that's to their own detriment. It's worth it to take the time to have that pre-listing meeting and set your goals and set expectations.
Yeah. And then we can come to your place and give you good input on what you can do to better prepare your house to sell. A lot of people will call and say, hey, can you look and just tell me, should we put a new countertop in this kitchen or a new flooring in this laundry room, or is that not a good investment? The reality is, with the cost of goods and labor today, there's not a lot of investments you can make where you're guaranteed to get that return. That new countertop might look great, but unless your old countertop is just falling apart, it might not be a great way to spend your money to get top dollar for selling your house. But there's a lot of little things that you can do very inexpensively that are going to make your house more appealing, not only in the photos, but when the people come to take a look at your house. And we're happy to share that information, and it's no trade secrets as far as that goes.
Yeah. But it's so funny. I mean, things that I guess after you've been in the business, you just assume they know, but they don't. It's just lighting everything up. Had Barry coming over to he does all my photography for me.
Of course.
And I like to prepare and have lights on and everything ready. And I went to turn on the lights and there were bulbs missing. And it was like, oh no, this is not going to work.
A lot of people like to have a dark house.
Yeah.
I go to a lot of houses, and unfortunately in this one, they had actually just loosened some bulbs. So some of it was tightening bulbs up, but then we had to go out and get a bunch of bulbs.
And bought a bunch of bulbs and
got it ready for, because the person living there, they didn't think much about it.
Yeah.
That's the way they like it. But the reality is, and the person buying it, they may come in and unscrew all the bulbs. But today they want to see it in its best light, literally and figuratively. So we've got to get it lit up and bright and inviting for people to come in so they can buy it and then turn out all the lights.
So I'm one of these people, and like I said, we'll talk. Katie did it. She comes in, that's Perry's wife, and she does all that kind of stuff. She'll set stuff and redo, and they do it all. But we were talking about, I'm a dark colors person.
Oh, yeah.
My walls are just super dark, but I want light. I want dark walls and lots of lights. And is that something that and I'm not selling, don't ask me. You want to sell that property? I'd love to have that. I'm like, no. Would I need to repaint? Is that just kind of a standard thing that the dark houses like that you really
it is challenging.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it worth it to repaint? Because the next person that might come in may like the new color you pick, or they may have preferred. Yeah. So it's.
But if you look at your walls and go, I really need to paint, these walls look rough.
Yeah.
Then by all means, paint a lighter, neutral color that people are going to.
I could move it so they could go, okay, I don't necessarily like that color, but it's neutral enough. I don't have to completely change it.
Yeah.
Somebody could come in and see my burgundy dark walls and be like, I got to change that.
And I compliment buyers when they look at a house and go, boy, I don't care for that, but we can repaint it. Because I've had buyers, and you need to know they're out there if you're selling your house, who can't visualize, who will say, I really like that house except for all the paint. And you can repaint it.
Yeah.
But some people cannot get past
really
that.
Cannot.
And it's just the way different people are built.
Yeah.
They can't visualize what they are going to do.
Tell them that, but it's just another hesitation. But I like what you said. If you've got the dark color and it needs sprucing up anyway, over time, from hanging pictures or whatever, and you're going to sell it, go ahead and go with that lighter color that will appeal to, maybe not appeal exactly to people, but will brighten up the house.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because that's one thing that's been fascinating, watching my children go through purchases and sales and all that. And I can remember whenever they made the move to Mount Juliet, this house came up at the last minute. All of a sudden I get a call. We're moving. We're selling. We're cleaning out the house. Come help. and we're like taking things off the wall. And I mean, it was so bizarre. But then I was like, okay, if I were buying a house, this is what I would want to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. They don't want to see all your knickknacks and your clutter and all that. That you got to get all that out of there and declutter. They were boxing stuff up. I was storing stuff. My mom was storing stuff, just to get it out of their way so that they could just, clean slate.
And it makes a big difference. Now, when the market was so good for sellers, we had people putting their house on the market, not doing a thing. But now we're like, this is important.
Yeah.
If the market has changed, you really got to inspire these buyers to go ahead and pull the trigger, even though their interest rates is a little bit higher. So it's really important to stage, like you said, the clutter, those horizontal surfaces as much as possible, have them cleared out. Your closets, you still got to live there, but maybe put away your seasonal clothes and arrange things so they can see the space.
Go ahead and pack them in boxes and stack them in the garage.
You're going to be moving.
Nobody
anyway.
has an expectation that your garage is going to be empty.
Oh, okay. So they're going to come out there and say, yeah, these people are moving. So it's okay. Okay.
So there's ways you don't have to rent a storage place. In a perfect world, you could get a storage place and have it all, off the
Tucked
property.
away. Or you take it to your
if you don't have a garage, have a
designated
designated room in the house. I've
Oh, yeah.
told sellers to do that. Your third bedroom that you're using as a guest room at an office, just have that as a storage room for now. And we'll just tell the people, hey, they're preparing to move. This is a good thing. When I go in a house and I'm showing it for a buyer and there's a room full of boxes, I'm like, hey, this is great. These people are motivated to move and they're going to be able to get out quickly. I like seeing this.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
And I have a personal crusade that I'm on to tell people, don't go to the liquor store and get boxes because they're all different sizes. Go to Walmart or Lowe's or somewhere, that sells boxes and buy a bunch of boxes the same size so they'll stack better.
And your neighbors won't talk about you.
And they won't talk about you.
Yeah,
They keep coming in the house, all these liquor
they're
boxes.
toting liquor boxes in and
I
out
keep
of the house.
seeing them going to the liquor store.
That was always the thing. I went to Christian colleges and they're good heavy boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'd go get those liquor boxes and we'd get those looks like not their box, okay?
You carry them out upside down, shaking them.
They're good for carrying books. That was things we used to have whenever we
Books, yeah.
not digital. It's so funny. Talking with Barry and Rebecca Richards with the Exit Realty Garden Gate team, just kind of get an update on the real estate market and just kind of seeing. So, what is the interest rate right now? If you go buy a house today, what kind of interest rate are you going to get? If you got good credit?
It's just coming down under 7%. We're yeah.
Goodness.
And so, of course, it depends on your credit, depends on the type of loan you're getting. We had an announcement yesterday of some drops in the interest rates related to the THDA programs. I mentioned down payment assistance programs, that they have a slightly lower rate this week. So we're seeing rates start to slowly come down. We don't necessarily know what it's going to do. We are optimistic that it's going to continue to drop. I think it's important to know that nobody believes we're going to be back down to 2% anytime soon.
That was just a
Or
crazy.
if ever, for that matter.
Yeah.
That
We hope we don't ever get up in the double digits like
Yeah.
they were back in the 70s and 80s either. Interest rates, they seem horrible right now. And I think the reason why, of course, we got spoiled was those lower ones, but then the average prices of houses went up on top of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was kind of like a double whammy to you.
And that's sort of the, something we say a lot to people that are on the fence about whether they buy now or not. That the rates may come down, but as you wait for the rates to come down, the prices are going to continue going up.
Oh, of course.
So that's the give and take of that. You can wait for a lower rate, and the reality is you could buy a house now, and if the rates go down, refinance. If they go down substantially, obviously you don't want to refinance every time they drop 0.5%.
Yeah, because it costs you to
refinance.
I don't know. I've seen they're like, you can refinance for free. Really?
There
Really?
There's
always hidden fees somewhere. It seems like
there are some loan products. We don't run across them very often, but I've had closings where the lender there at the closing table said, "Here, this is a unique product because of the company that's doing the investing. You can recast the loan. There might be a limit on how often you can do it, and there might be like $100 fee, but it's not the thousands of dollars to do a full refi. So talk to your lender and tell them, I'm concerned about interest rates. Another thing we're running into is sellers that are advertising that they'll do what's called a buy down. And a lot of people don't understand that, but you can buy down the rate. Maybe it's only for the first year or two, but you'll have a lower payment because basically the seller has prepaid that interest for the first year, 2, 3.
Oh, okay.
Depending on, and that may really make a difference. And there are options, depending on the lender, to actually buy down the rate permanently. It's going to cost more, but we have sellers that are offering to do that as part of the transaction. Now, if you're somebody that's able to pay cash, then that's just a signal that they're willing to come off their price that much, because they've made that offer. But it's very few and far between the buyers.
California.
You must be from California.
That's the only
California
people I know.
cash.
Or
People I know that's been paying cash are Californians.
Or as Becky runs into occasionally with working with seniors, folks that are downsizing.
Yeah.
Maybe they're in a big house they don't need. It's got lots of equity. They're going to be able to pay cash for that smaller house that they need to buy.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that she's a seniors real estate specialist.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was
For
trying to get out.
almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I was trying to get that out of my mouth while ago. But and so what does that mean? Because I say that all the time. What does that mean?
They
know,
just,
but explain it.
I mean, everybody buying, selling the house is the same process for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But seniors usually have different goals and different things. They're different challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And my hope is to make it a little bit less stressful because a lot of them are moving from a home that they've been in for decades and they've got memories in it. And real estate is a business, but my nurturing heart, that just speaks to me. And I like to help seniors navigate all those waters to get to it. And, there's just different issues that come with that. And I'm hoping to kind of ease them into it. And I encourage people, I start talking to them when they're our age, because we're in our 50s, we're going to be in our 60s soon.
Yeah.
And, really a lot of people wait too late to downsize. They wait until they're in their late 70s, 80s. And that's more stressful, not only emotionally, but physically. And I've helped people move that, man, you should have done this like even 5 years earlier. It would have been a lot easier. So just hope to be a resource for people that have got those challenges coming up.
I was talking with my mother just about those kinds of things. And I mean, we're in a different situation because they're on a family farm. She's not going anywhere, but you're talking about this one and that one and the different investments and all of that. And it's so vital. I mean, she's got my brother and my sister-in-law there helping her and my sweet nephews and helping her navigate all of those waters. But not everybody has that.
No, they really don't.
That's why I want one of my children to move home. Right. To take care of me. They know. We're down to the last couple of minutes here, but I just wanted to clarify that because I say that all the time. And I think people don't really understand the nuances of that. There's so many things for seniors that they need to consider. And
it really is.
At that, and one of the first in the area.
And it's not just for the seniors, it's for their families as well.
Yes. And what are we missing, guys? We've got a couple of minutes here.
Well, we just want everybody to have a good holiday. Don't fret about the interest rates.
Yeah.
If you've got a home, be thankful for it.
Amen.
Everybody needs a place to live, and if we can help somebody invest in real estate, that's rewarding because it is going to pay off down the road as you build equity. Rather than you're either going to pay your mortgage or you're going to pay your landlord's mortgage. You can take a choice.
I want you to address this, and this is probably going to push us over a little bit, but I think this is important. You mentioned this to me one time, that if there's somebody that is in almost a foreclosure situation.
Oh, absolutely.
How do you address that?
If you've got a friend, maybe you talk to them over the holiday, and they said, "Yeah, I'm behind. I'm getting way behind. I'm afraid." Those things happen, and people are embarrassed, and they won't reach out. If they will reach out to us, we've had very good experience. The lenders do not want to foreclose. It costs them money to kick you out of your house. We can help you, in some cases, stay in your house. And worst case, hopefully, they won't get foreclosed on, and we can, at the very least, let you get that equity that you have in the house out. Because so many people have equity now that they don't even realize.
Right.
and it's really sad when you hear of somebody that does get foreclosed on. It was unnecessary. If we had just talked to them,
they might get a little equity, but they would get so much more if they let a realtor help them get the most.
Yes.
Because I had a lady call me, and it was like it was going on the auction the next week. It's too late then. We can't do anything at that point.
Yeah.
But if they'll call, even if they're in the foreclosure process, we can call lenders a lot and stall it. Because once they know that there's a listing and they're trying to sell it, they'll halt the process, or at least slow it down for a little bit, and give them a chance to sell the property.
And if you're tempted by an ad on the TV or the radio to sell your house for cash, just understand that's just one buyer. If you'll come to us, we can get offers from those same buyers and same investors plus other investors we work with, and maybe get you considerably more money if you'll let those people compete with each other.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't even realize that equity could be there that could get you out of the hole.
Yes.
I think people just miss that. Like you said, they don't even realize the equity that they have, and you could refinance it, take that, get caught up, and get on a better plan. And, there's just so many options, but I didn't want to leave without.
No, I think that's a good message.
I think that's because like you said, here during Christmas, during the holidays, you have these conversations.
Yeah.
So if this comes up and you've got somebody in your family that has got this heavy thing on them, say, call Barry and Rebecca right now and let them help you navigate these waters.
And keep a foreclosure off your credit record.
So many opportunities and so many options that you don't know about. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you again for being longtime sponsors. And don't you go anywhere. I want you to help me figure out what's going on in here. Anyway, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here for One Street Over. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a wonderful day.